Hello, I hope y'all are doing well. It's February 4th. Today I'm going to be talking about just pretty much been looking back at the Northeast like Arctic blast that we saw over the past 2 days. Uh, and I'm going to be talking about really our next big system, kind of when we could see that and what we could be expecting in regards to that. But yeah, I hope y'all are all doing very well. It's Saturday, and let's go ahead and get into the video here. So we're looking at our low temperatures from this morning here. Actually, if I just switch this here, yeah. So pretty much our low temperatures from this morning. 14 degrees at like the Baltimore, Washington official airport there. Uh, this is cover. Yeah, this covers pretty much the entire Northeast here. But again, I'm confused. But yeah, so we saw. I mean, teens and stuff all the way down to this area, all the way down to the Washington, Baltimore area, all the way down into like areas of this area of Maryland too, and then down by Salisbury. I mean, one airport there at 23, but probably mainly some teens until like you get into the more coastal areas where you probably saw 20s. Although there's no official like airport stations in that area. New Jersey, and we can see the coldest station in New Jersey was up right at the northern tip. That site is Sussex Airport, 0 degrees today with a high of 21. Which currently is 21, so it's not cooling down though. So that kind of explains what's going on. It's going to be much warmer tomorrow. All the way down into the Philadelphia area, the official Philadelphia airport got 15, but outside of town probably some single digits and some lower teens as well. In the New York City area though, multiple stations. Central Park, like in 4 degrees, LaGuardia 5, New York downtown 7. So that's the warmest station, probably because in the middle of downtown. 1 degrees though, or 1 degree right up by Teterboro. I don't know how to say that. I probably said that right though. Newark International 5 degrees, and then New York Kennedy 3 degrees. And actually, something that I didn't really expect to see is that the coldest station is not even on the western part of Long Island; it's on the eastern side of Long Island. -2 in East Hampton, so we did see some negatives on Long Island. Most of PA here are 0 degrees also in that area. Garrett County Airport in Maryland, probably in this a little bit of some higher elevations though. Most of PA was in the single digits, other than the southeastern area, and then a couple sites in the northern side of the state, generally from like Franklin east to Scranton. Will probably, I mean, well, like probably were kind of. Most of these areas are probably in the negatives, so some spotty negatives even further south. We have a random -8 right there. I don't really. At Mount Pocono. Yeah, that's probably because it's a mountain. If I had to guess, but yeah, and then New York, we can see like Buffalo 0 degrees, Niagara Falls 3, and pretty much negatives across most of Western New York, unless you're along the coast, or not along the coast, like along the lakes. Binghamton -13, so Binghamton is very cold. Down in southeastern New York, in the area we haven't looked at, we can see a quick drop off from like the warmer air in the New York City area to like -10 degrees just north of, like kind of up in the Catskills. And then in Albany, -13, but outside of town in a little bit of higher elevations, because Albany is right along the Hudson River, so it's going to be a little warmer there. But in the higher elevations, it was -20s, -33 in northern, -35 too, right along the Canadian border. Watertown -22. Watertown's always a cold spot. Or actually, Watertown -33. Yeah, that's the official Watertown airport. And this other one got -22 with a high of 9. That's kind of interesting. The highs are really different. But I noticed Watertown, like, although something about this just doesn't seem right. But if the temperature reading is actually correct, I noticed like the Watertown does seem to drop off very quickly, and be very much colder than the surrounding areas, especially at night. I don't really know why it is. Maybe because it's in a valley. I don't really know. That's what I heard before, but I haven't really looked into it myself, so that's probably wrong. But I mean, -3, Nantucket there, -9 in Boston. I mean, just negatives pretty much everywhere in Massachusetts got into the negatives. Same with Rhode Island, Connecticut, other than like that tip of Connecticut down there. Vermont negative 15 in Burlington, and most of Vermont was around negative 20, or negative 15 and negative 20. We can see Mount Washington negative 47 there. Uh, New Hampshire is very cold too. And then up into Maine, uh, Bar Harbor negative 17 with a high of 7. So just very cold. Portland, a high of 9, negative 15. High of 7 on Sanford Airport. And then, I mean, we go up into like Caribou here, negative 21 with a high of negative 2. So it's still currently negative 9. So it is cooling off in Caribou, actually. And much of Maine, it is still cooling off, actually. But we take a look at like current temperatures across this area, if I can actually X out of that. And I mean, it's much warmer. I mean, we're looking at like 26 in New York City, so it's still cold, but it's much warmer. I mean, 40s pushing all the way up into the Columbus area in Ohio too. 32 in Pittsburgh, and that airport where it was like 0 degrees in Massachusetts is 36 right now. So definitely warming up a little bit, although it is still cold, but it's something good to see. So now let's go back over to now we're on Weather Bell. We're going to be looking at some models, of course. So we're going to be seeing this little clipper system around Monday and Tuesday. We're not going to be looking at this too much today, since I kind of want to keep the video short. There's really not anything urgent to talk about with this, but they could be bringing some snow to areas like northern and central Minnesota, up into northern Wisconsin, UP, and Michigan maybe. And then into the interior northeast as well. Could get a little bit of a brief snowfall. It's Tuesday night and the Wednesday. And then with this system here, this is going to be kind of our next system here. We see it really get going Wednesday. Thursday, we see a 993 millibar, or like a low in like the 990s. Millibar wise, they're moving to the Great Lakes and up into Ontario, and then kind of goes back into the northeast, but just generally moves northeast. Another system that could bring wintry precip to interior New York, or not the interior northeast. But then on the backside, what the GFS has, it has this other system with a very significant like Arctic blast, or just cold front. Okay, we're seeing a lot of cold air push down in the backside of this. So Friday afternoon, we see a ton of cold air, some snow pushing all the way down into Tennessee. A lot of northwest flow with this throughout Saturday as well. On the backside, very cold day potentially. According to the GFS, the northeast gets a freeze, like an ice storm event. In some areas, in the interior, gets some snowfall on the backside. Now the European, we'll take a look to see if it's any like significantly different. It probably is going to be. Yeah, we still see it's kind of going with what it was a little bit of like a couple days ago. See snow in like the plains. And then up into the northern US, you have a big system, that's a big winter storm though for like Omaha there. So it's a big difference compared to the GFS. But then we see that cold blast in the backside, northwest flow. Not as significant as the GFS, doesn't seem, but either way, it's still would be pretty nice. Now temperature wise, we get some. Most of this week is above average for much of the south and stuff, but we do see some below average air actually moving to the southeast for once. Like this is Sunday morning here, we're looking at temperatures like 10 degrees to even 15, 20 degrees below average in some areas in the European. And then over on the GFS, we can see it's a little further east, but very cold as well. Like this is 7 p.m. Sunday, or Saturday, that's my bad. And we can see all that very cold air locked in this area. Actual temperatures, though, in the GFS, keep in mind this will probably moderate a little bit. Which we gotta zoom in. This is at 7 p.m. too, though. You gotta keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the east here. We're already down like freezing in much of North Georgia, upstate South Carolina, single digits up in Minnesota. But then the European at this time is, I mean, it's still very cold, but it's a little different. At the same time, we're in like the 40s, but still cold, but still below average, but it's not as significant. That's kind of what I was looking to say there. So yeah, that'll be our next system. We're gonna want to watch that. Maybe some areas could get some snow that I haven't really seen it, or have seen it probably so far as here, because I mean the only thing we've really had in the south has been northwest flow events, unless it's ice in like these areas over here. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It's pretty much all I have. I'll either be back tomorrow or Monday, talk about this again. But yeah, thank you for watching.